Y'all doing good? Too. I'm sitting here on Father's Day. I wasn't going live today. Baby girl is preparing, will be preparing dinner for me. And I had a few minutes to kill because I was sitting in the car thinking about something. I was thinking about clothes and how I was introduced to clothing by my father. Now, I was introduced to quality clothes by my father. But I was introduced to how to weave and sew and put in hems and stuff like that from my mother. My mother had an old Singer sewing machine, and my mother sewed all of our clothes. We had hand-me-downs, yes, but a lot of those hand-me-downs was a result of us from her production from her bedroom. For Easter, she didn't have to go to the store to buy a lot of suits for us. It was 9 of us. Well, there was 7 boys at first. The girls came later. But my mother would take me to the fabric store. Minnesota Fabrics was the name of the store. And she would it'd be on that loom, whatever you call that thing, and all that fabric would be thick roll. And then she would pull it down like this and take some scissors and she'd chop it off, and then she'd take her measuring thingy and she'd measure. But she was measuring us at the house before she went to the store, and she'd measure us up, make sure she had enough material. She'd bring it home, and I see my mother sit up all night long. And not only she make our pants, she made our shirt, she made our suit jackets, she made our ties, she made our socks. My mother made everything. I don't see that today. And so home economics was a blessing to a lot of us, because home economics in grammar school, high school, intermediate, whatever you want to call it, taught both men and women how to do these things. Now boys were hooked on shop, but I actually wanted to be a part of home ec. A lot of little girls were in there, but I wanted to learn how to cook. All right, and how to sew and things like that. So my mother taught me how to sew and how to hem, my pants and all that stuff. I kind of lost it now. I don't know how to do it. I don't think I do. Haven't done it in a long time. I pay for my tailoring now. So as we get to tailoring, my father played a big part in that. So I want to talk about this in a minute if I can, since this is Father's Day, and baby girl's up there getting ready to prepare me a scrumptious, delightful meal, because baby girl been practicing. She can throw down. So I'm gonna maybe eat some cereal or something like that, because she gonna take her time. Give me a minute.
Report live, 7 days a week, always on time, but his time is not free. Sirwalterj Jones, always on fleek. Latest trending topics, how you jumping out your seat. Controversial subjects, others can't touch it. Community full of people throwing rocks from the bunker. Politics, finance, music, and religion. Stirring up the poverty, bring healing to the village. Son named Walter, daughter named Rebecca. Grew up on the south side, who know do it better. Sirwalterj Jones, from the Tribeca. He got something to say, put your hands together. Hey! Come on in, the water is fine.
The water's fine. Hello, everybody. Sirwalterj Jones Show. It's a special Father's Day assembly episode. Baby. That's my jam, y'all. How you is? You fine? Good. The water is always fine on here at the Sirwalterj Jones Show. I want to talk to y'all here about fathers. Take your son's shopping. Take them shopping. Now, come on. You think that was the mama's job? Huh? You think that's really the mama's job? The mama can take them shopping, that's fine. You need to take them shopping so you can know how to teach them and train them up on how to shop for quality goods. I'm telling y'all, this is how it works. And you're going to thank me for it, brothers. If you watchers down here, for you fathers and you mothers out there and wives who got some husbands, tell them, come by television. Come at television. I'm talk to you. Right here, look at this. This is Ephesians chapter 6. Children, obey your parents because you belong to the Lord. For this is the right thing to do. Honor your father and mother. This is the first commandment with a promise. If you honor your father and mother, things will get well with you and you will have a long life on the earth. Now, we could have stopped it right there. I'm glad Brother Paul didn't stop it there, because there's more to this as it pertains to you fathers. Fathers, you can't just say and do and treat your son any way you want to do it. All right? Now, we're talking about sons and fathers today. And daughters, you can slip in at some place in here in my little banter. We'll do a father-daughter talk later on. But today we'll talk about sons, because the sons is the one's going to grow up to be another father. A daughter can't be a father. I don't care how many times y'all say you're playing both roles. No, you're not. It's impossible to do both roles. God made Adam and Eve. He made male and female, and he did not make a male, a female, a female. This ain't got nothing to do with homosexuality and gay pride. Ain't got nothing to do with any of that. That's not even the subject matter. The subject matter is about how you think that you could do both jobs. It's impossible. All you're doing as a father is a father's job. You are doing stuff that may be regulated, that women chores, but you're still a father. You're not doing women's duties when you are playing a part in raising your child. This is the problem. Thank you, Patricia. Good to see you all you bunkers here. David, Maria, Ron, Rebecca, Jerome. We are live, by the way. Here's the problem in the home. The problem is that the father and the mother believe that they have two different roles, and that one can't play the role of the other without trying to call themselves the other. When I saw my brother braiding and doing his daughter's hair, I didn't see him being a mother and father. I saw my brother, a father, doing his daughter's hair. That's all I saw. So when my daughter was staying with me, I needed to do her hair too. I needed to put it up, and I couldn't do it as good as he did it, but I was trying my best. And my daughter saw her father doing her hair. The problem is when a child gets up in age, the father, knowing even if he was single, if he was divorced like I was, I still had to do grocery shopping. There was no woman. I woke up as a single man in my single apartment, and I had to go and do grocery shopping for the house. I had to go and buy my clothes for me. I had to do everything that I insisted that my wife did when we were married. When she was not there anymore, I had to do those things. So when my son moved in with me at the age of 14, I took him to the grocery store. I didn't say, stay home, son, stay home, stay home. No, you going with me because I want to show you how to shop for yourself. You got to eat, right? Mm-hmm. Which means you need to learn how to cook. You can't always eat out or you will be broke. So you go down to the meat aisle there and you look at the date and see the expiration date, and you feel on the fruit to see if it's ripe or not. Don't buy fruit if it's already ripe. You might want to wait. You want it to ripe at home. All these things. How to weigh it, how to even put it in the bag, all these things, which we think is relegated to a woman or a wife or a mother. This is the problem. So the disconnect happens with the father when he doesn't take the son to places that the son needs to see him doing. Thank you, Marlene. Minister Butch, blessings to you. So I needed to continue that with both my daughter and my son when they were living with me, when they were away from their mothers. So Paul was writing this letter to Ephesians chapter 6, and he continued and he started talking to the fathers. Here's the thing that we don't talk about. He said, fathers, do not provoke your children to anger by the way you treat them. Rather bring them up with the discipline. King James says admonition, discipline, and instruction that comes from the Lord. You see that? All right. So what are we going to do? Because if you keep reading, the atheists are going to jump on you about the slaves and the masters. They like to go there, and they had nothing better to do. So today, this month is Father's Health Month. I know the gays have kidnapped, they kidnapped the colors and the rainbows and all. They kidnapped it. They hijacked it, and then they hijacked this month. Don't focus on that stuff. Y'all are focusing too much. Let them do whatever they do, because the scripture says the world does what it does. It's not our job to even judge them. We judge the church. But since this is the health month, I do want to bring this up just right quick. This is a leading cause of death in male, non-Hispanic blacks. This is 2018. The leading cause of death is heart disease. And then cancer. Guess what's number 3? Alzheimer's. Ain't that something? Whew. And number 4, stroke. And then we're killing each other. Homicide. Right in the middle. Diabetes, chronic respiratory disease, kidney disease, septicemia, hypertension is at the bottom. All right. When you go here, then you see the age. But look at this. In the age group, it's different. Young people, the number 1 cause of death is homicide, from the ages of 1 all the way to 44. As you get older, then it's heart disease. Number 2 is unintentional injuries for young people. They just wild. But then it's cancer for us. So for a guy like me, I'm susceptible to this: heart disease, cancer, injury. And I had a lot of those when I was much younger. And then diabetes. It goes on and on. These statistics should alarm you, brothers, and you mothers and you wives and your daughters and your sisters who are watching this. You might want to show that. Go to the Center for Disease Control and look at that and see what you can do to better the health of your loved one who was a man, because even if he's a man and he's trans, or he is bi, or he's gay, the physiological body don't know what you're trying to be. It don't know that you have a tendency or you want to be a something else. If you're born a man, your body's going to act like a man. So you still have to treat or talk to or counsel or encourage the man who decides he wants to be a woman. You got to talk to him like a man, because when that man who wants to be a woman goes to the doctor treats them based off of their assignment. The doctor treats you based off of your assignment, meaning how you were born. And if he's trans or homosexual, the statistics are higher. Absolutely. We talked about that yesterday for suicide, or day before yesterday, or something like that. Much higher. So it doesn't matter what his state of being is, you need to encourage him to get checked out. All right. And all of it starts with eating at home. And then you can get you don't have to necessarily get a membership at some workout place or the gym. You don't, there's so many things that we can do at home. I have a bike that I ride in the summer. Obviously, I built a gym here at my house, so I don't have to leave the house to get exercise. And then you don't have to have a gym. There's little things you can do on the floor. When my back went out, I did a YouTube search and I found ways of strengthening my back by doing things that the chiropractor was, having us to do, and it was working on my back, which was toning my stomach while I was doing those things that heal my back. It was toning my stomach. There's a lot of things that we can do to help our loved ones save us. That is, all right. So when you see the statistics of heart disease and cancer, it obviously starts at home and based off of what we eat. There's a lot of things that I remove from my diet. I just don't do it anymore. I'm glad I don't do it because I don't have a taste for it anymore. I wasn't doing it because I was trying to be healthy. I don't do it because I just don't have a taste for it anymore. I don't eat a lot of sweets. I don't snack a whole lot. I do snack, but this is my typical snack. I don't snack on tater chips and chocolate, like candy, candy bars, and all that stuff. I just don't. I snack on deluxe mixed nuts. Yeah, yeah, and I know some of this has sea salt in it, so I cut down on even that. I don't even put white sugar on. I haven't put white sugar in anything in many years. I just stopped doing it. Even when I drink tea every day, at least as much as I can, and honey, and I put lemon in there, and I don't put sugar, but I need something sweet more than honey. I need something more sweet than honey, so I put Ricola drops in there. All right. As I change my habit, I'm starting to walk a little bit more instead of parking in front of the stores. I park further. When I go to Walmart, I don't fight to find parking. I like it when there's a park way in the back because I want an opportunity to walk. So when I leave the house, I put on no church shoes. I put on some sneakers so that I know that I'm going to do some walking. Then I go down there to Sirwalterj. I haven't done a romance in the park in a while. I go down there and meet friends in the park and go walking with them. And I like to walk far around in circles, and it would be like me walking a few miles, even though we're going around in a circle talking. I don't like to sit and talk that much. I like to walk and talk. Getting that exercise. Find it wherever you can. Find it wherever you can, because I'm climbing into the age of 60. I'm slowly climbing, and I just don't want to be sitting in some doctor's office crying about something that I could have prevented. So stuff stopped working. They don't work as great when you get up in age, and I don't want to be that guy. Mm-hmm. All right, and so you got to do that stuff. So today I want to talk about fathers take your son shopping. You really should. My father took me to this store, me and my brothers to this store. It's called Carol's, downtown Chicago. It's called the Reliance Building. I think it's still there. It's 32 North State Street for those of you who live in Chicago. The store is gone. It's been gone for many years. This is the sign here. Well, let me find a better picture here. That's Carol's Menswear. And for those of you who lived in Chicago for some years, you remember this store. This is where my father bought for the first time, my father took us to this store to buy brand new suits. This is the old Carol. This is the old Reliance building. And Carol's was like the only store it looked like. Well, the Albert's hosiery was in this store, was in this building as well. Back in the day, we had Sears, and Roebuck was downtown State Street, and there was no Macy's, not on this strip. Macy's bought out, was it Montgomery Ward or Carson Peary? right? So we went downtown for Carson Peary and Montgomery Ward building where we would look in the window. We did window shopping because we really couldn't afford anything. During Christmas time, we went down there just for the window to see the animatronics do their little things in the window, and we see the workers dressing the windows up in all this Christmas stuff. They don't do that anymore. I think New York still kind of do it, but you got to go maybe on Fifth Avenue to do that. Yeah, thank you. Macy's bought the Marshall Fields. And it's just, Marlene, your dad shop there. Amen. Yeah, it just was wonderful memories there when back then you could literally park on Michigan in State Street. Back then you could actually park on State Street. Then they blocked it off. You couldn't drive at all for a long time. And then they reopened it. State Street, that great street. I just want to say they don't do things they do on Broadway. Oh, man. But he took me down there to Carol's. And they measured us up. It was me, myself, my brother Rodney, my brother Larry. I don't know if my brother Dwayne was there with us or not. I think it was just myself, my brother Rodney, and my brother Larry. And those suits were not $50 suits, $80 suits. No, they were several $100s per suit. And they lasted many, many years. This was in 1982, somewhere around there. Might be when this picture was taken. This picture looked like it was taken in 1975 or somewhere around there, based off of this car I see here. This car here, yeah, that's the 70s. That's definitely 70s. That looked like a right here on the right here looks like a deuce and a quarter, like a Lincoln Town, but it also looked like a Electra 227, Electra 225. Yeah. I learned how to shop for quality from my father. You see, I would have went in that store and bought something cheap. It looks nice, but it would have lasted a year, and it would have been stringy. And once you start pulling the string, you can forget it. That suit that he bought for us on a carpenter's salary in 1982 lasted, gosh, it lasted until my son was a preteen. But my father, when he would go into the store with us, he would tell us, listen, sons, when you go into the store, buy quality. And if you cannot afford it, don't come in the store until you can afford it. My father didn't put things in layaway. He didn't believe in that. My mother was a layaway queen, and she put stuff in layaway, and then it'd be in there until they had to release it from layaway, because then you got to go back and get your deposit. My father, no. Son, don't walk into that store until you have all of the money. Don't buy nothing on what was called time. Y'all know what time means, right? This is what y'all do all the time. Y'all got these things now where you paying on time. These things, synchrony banks accounts and Affirm accounts, and y'all buy now and pay later. Y'all, we're hooked on those. There you go, Donna. Layaway was the move for school clothes. My father said, raise the money, make the money. We had to pick up aluminum cans and all this stuff off the street and what have you. We went and got these jobs called CEDA, CEDA, CEDA jobs. The city would hire us to do certain things, and over the summertime when school is out, you collect that money, you gather it up, you know that suit costs $400, $500. And so once you get the money, then you go into a store like Carol's, and then you say, listen, eeny, meeny, miny, moe, I want that suit. And then you get you some socks, and then you went down to father and son's shoes to get some shoes. And you had to get leather, not pleather or man-made malts is what they used to call them. And maybe they still call them that. malts. So we had father and son, and we had what was it? Y'all named some shoe stores that was open back then, back in the 70s and 80s. My mother loved to go. There was two stores she loved, father and sons, and man, it's at the tip of my tongue. And my mother was trying to skimp. She was trying to save money, so she would buy me these shoes that were not leather. And so I take them home and we wear them, and they would tear up my feet. Sherman, yeah, Sherman. No, we never heard of a Payless. We was coming up. We never heard of no Payless. Stacy Adams and Floor Shine. Yes, my mother loved Floor Shine. Floor Shine. And she realized Bakers, yes. Kevin says Phillips. Yes, we had all those stores in Chicago. Sure did. Filene's, okay. Is that related to Filene's Basement? That's the same as Filene's Basement? So they had to be leather. And then they give you they had that little shoe measure. You put your foot on that shoe, that metal thing that you and it measured your foot. And then she went in the back, found the shoe. 12. They used to have halves back then. 11 and a half, 12 and a halves. They don't have halves anymore. You just go from 11 to 12 to 13. Oh, they'll go thin or wide now. They just don't do it like they used to. And they spend a lot of time with us. I learned customer service by my father taking me to the store, showing me how to shop. I'm telling y'all. Tom McCann. Yes, Tom McCann. Oh, my goodness. Filene's on the upper floor of the basement. Okay. Wow. See? Dree, I didn't know that. That's good stuff. So you shop for your shoes. You got your shoes. And here's the thing, brothers. My father taught me how to shine my shoes. My father had a shoebox at the house. Went and got those, the black shoe polish. Can y'all remember the name of the shoe polish? He bought a brush to polish it and an old rag. And sometimes sometimes he would find one of us discarded. We had holes in our drawers. Must be TMI because I'm coughing. Sometimes the Flag Brothers, yes, we had holes in. We would wear our tighty whities too long, and then they would have holes in them. And he would use those as a rag. A pair of Bucks, Hush Puppies, yes. And my father did not believe in jacked up shoes. Our shoes were always shined. Because he shined them, or he taught us how to shine them. Our suits were pressed. They were dry cleaned. You saw the crease. You had to see the crease. And you did not iron your suits. Yes, Kiwi. There you go. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you, Kevin. Kiwi shoe polish. You did not put this jacket or pants on the ironing board. Is it Kiwi or Quick? Which one is it? I thought it was Kiwi. And no, it was Quick, wasn't it? Kiwi. You did not iron your suits. Can y'all tell me why you did not iron your suits? Huh? Can you tell me why? It was Quick. Was it Quick? You did not iron your suits. Can y'all tell me why? So my father had a place that we dry cleaned. Here's the problem, brothers. Come close. And Tina said they'd melt. Yeah, there you go, Beatrice. They shine. They shine. You can tell. Yeah, Kiwi, Corey. Yeah, Kiwi. You can tell when a person shine or they iron their suit because they'd be at church and they'd be so shiny the sun would hit it and blind people. Come on, you were ruining it with that big shiny mark. And if you left the iron on the pants too long, you had an iron mark on the pants. You didn't do that. So my father would pay for dry cleaning. We had a dry cleaning on the west side on Sacramento. I think it was Kedzie and Madison. Now y'all know where it is. Kedzie and Madison. It was a dry cleaning. It was an African American dry cleaning. That's where we took all our clothes because it was cheap. You pay pennies, for your clothes. But here's the problem. Your clothes came back and it didn't fit you. Or it looked like they ironed them too. Or they just didn't get the spots that you needed them to get. So my father, we still use that shop because he believed in supporting African-American businesses. But my father had a plan B, and the plan B was the Asian shop. The Asian shop, you had to drive a little further out of the neighborhood for that. But when we walked into the Asian shop, they knew your name. Our clothes went to my father's, his children clothes went to the dry cleaners, the African American dry cleaners, but all his suits that he knew he had paid some good money for, no, they went to the Asian shop. Yep, the Asian shop. They knew him, and his clothes always came back like they was brand new, but he paid more. So I understood the difference between an Asian shop and an African American shop. All African American shops were not bad. It's just that I had bad experience with them, and your liners were coming out, and you wore your suit so long till they started ripping in the lining or what have you. We were young. I come from a poor family, didn't have much, but the Lord been good to me. All right. So my father taught us, don't take off your suits and put it on the floor. You take off your suits and you hang them up. And so there's a certain hanger for the pants, and then there's a certain hanger for your jacket. You don't take the same hanger that they give you from the dry cleaner, put your pants on it and put your jacket on it, because if you did that, then the hangers were wire hanger, and they had that white paper for your pants, and then the rest of it, the ring, was wire. So when you put your jacket on that hanger, your jacket then left an indent like that. Y'all get it? They left indents on both sides. So you would come to church and you would see, you could tell how a boy hung a suit because it was like this. All right. So you have to put your jacket on a hanger that had a lot of support. It had a cushion on it so that it could pad your pads, your shoulders. And then you put your pants on a different type of hanger that clipped on, or it had a string. Y'all know the hangers that had the string there, and you push your pants in like you do when you go to the store now. Those type of, yeah. That's how I learned how to keep my suits intact, keep them clean, and buy suits that may cost more, but they're going to last for years. And then I was taught you can buy 5 suits, and you can wear those 5 suits for years, and no one recognize that you have doubled up. Is that you buy your suits, but it's all about the accessories. You can wear that same suit twice in a month, but they think that you got a different suit on because it's all about how to accessorize. So accessory is the key. So you go to the store, you buy a lot of shirts, diverse, different types of shirts. You buy different ties and you buy hankies and pocket squares, whatever you all want to call those. Okay. And then the socks as well. And so I was taught how to style yourself by matching your socks with your shirt. You can match your tie, obviously with your hanky, but you also match your tie with your pants, or you can match your tie with you can match. Your jacket, like this jacket here, is out there. It's wild. It's after 7. It's like it's a ballroom jacket. That's what this is. It's Father's Day, so I figured I'd splash. It's a ballroom jacket, but it's not easy to match accessory wise, so you're limited on your accessory. Today, people are very bold in their accessories. Nothing matches today, so you can kind of get away with it. I'm still old school, so I got to do some kind of matching. So I knew that I had to do something subtle with this jacket. Bring attention to the jacket. Okay? Bring attention to the jacket, but don't take away the attention by being so loud with the accessories. Come on, cufflinks also. There you go. Cufflinks. All right? There's my cuffling there. Somewhere around here. Okay? It is the color. I typically wear cuffling based off of my birthstone. Okay? All right? And then you get your nice watch and you might wear some jewelry. You're good to go. But you can't do too much bling bling. You can't wear jewelry on every hand, and your watch can't just be pow pow pow. You got to be subtle with it. So if you want to bring attention to the jacket, you got to tone down the accessory. If you want to bring attention to the accessory, you have to tone down the jacket. So if I have a black jacket on, the black jacket is just your typical black tie affair. Everybody's wearing black. So what you do, you accessorize, you wear something like pink, purple, or white. All right. Pow. So that the black jacket will say, "Come here, boys, let me show you something. Don't look at me, look at what's up under me." You get it? That's what I was taught by my father. I didn't learn that on my own. My father took me to the store and showed me, now here's what you do. You buy just so many suits and you're done for a little while, and you go and you spend several $100s on accessories, and trust me, you will have a new outfit every week, even though you only have 5 suits. Now, obviously, I have more than 5 suits today, but if I only had 5, y'all wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. Gray suit with mint green hints. Come on, I am gold. Look at the ladies. The ladies know how to dress their man. You got a man, I am gold. You must be dressing them really nice. Come on, James. Coordinate. That's right, Drea. Tie rack. Now I have about 1,000 ties. Literally. I have about 1,000 ties. But they're on a rack. And you have to make sure. Sometimes I get lazy. When I take this tie off, sometimes what you do if you're lazy, you leave them tied, and then you just hang them on a hanger or something like that. That's not good to do. Number one, it gets wrinkled. It stays like this. It's very wrinkled when you untie it. Number two, it gets dirty. So when you unwrinkle it to get them clean, it's dirt there, and it stains there. The oil base is there, and sometimes you can't get that dirt out. Thank you, Tina. It's called contrast. So when you take your tie off, young men, you untie the tie, and then you hang it back up so that the wrinkle can come out of it, if there is a wrinkle. And then you go back and you tie them again. You understand? That's how you keep your tie clean. You keep it intact. You understand? With your shirts, you do the same thing. You can't wear your shirts forever. They eventually, because of the oil and the sweat glands from your skin, your shirt may be white for a few months, but after a while, with washing it over and over again, it eventually become, you got to throw out your shirts. You can't keep white shirts forever. They have to go. Do you understand? When I was young, I didn't understand that concept. We just kept wearing them. Then we had what's called a ring around the collars. And then after a while, you know, they get dingy. Come on, Kevin. They get dingy. So then when you wash it, even when you dry clean it, it comes back still dingy. You're like, wait a minute. And then you blame the dry cleaners. And no, I remember one time I brought my shirt to the dry cleaner, and the Asian lady said, this not going to come clean. I said, ain't you the dry cleaner? Yeah, you wear too much. You wear too much. You wait too long to come to bring here. We can't clean this. Now we will try and clean it, but it won't come clean. It won't be white. Say it again, lady. White. It won't be white. That's all right. Go ahead. Just put it in there. And sure enough, when it came back to me, it wasn't white. I like to see my stuff white. If it's a white, I like to see it white. All right. Now, if you wore it all day, it's not going to be right. Now, right now, I've had this on since 8 o'clock this morning. It ain't white. It's not white. It looks white because I got a lot of light hitting it. But right now, it ain't white. Come closer. It's got some dirt on it because I'm hugging folks at church today. I sweated a little bit. All right. So I don't really sweat like people who, you never see me sweat. I just don't sweat. But you're always sweating. You understand? It ain't white. When they said she's not a miracle worker. Yeah. Sweat is acid. Okay. So eventually this shirt that I have here on, after so many dry cleaning, I got to toss it and buy another one like this to replace this and just keep buying them. All right. All your shirts are that way, not just the white shirts. Young man, trying to teach you something that you probably didn't know because your father's not there and your mother is not telling you these things, because now fashion is different. It's different. It's difficult to go to the store now and buy and find suits like this. In my neighborhood, there's none anymore. When I was coming up, we had suit stores in my neighborhood. Not very far. Suit stores. Now there are none, and you have to go far to find a decent suit. And then some places now, even the major chains like J.C. Penney and who else that may have Macy's. Now when I go to those places for suits, I can't find much there because, number one, it's not about the cost. I don't mind spending a lot of money on a suit. The last expensive suit I bought was about $600-700 for that suit. That suit gonna last me forever, okay? Because you got to think wealthy. So I saved up enough money. I knew that thing was gonna cost about $600. But it was made of the best fabric. It was specially tailored for me. All right. It was a man who came down from Los Angeles. He came down and rented a hotel, and his hotel room, he comes every year, twice a year to Chicago, and he specially tailors our suits. All right. And so that suit is going to last me for a long, long time because it fits me. Marcus, Nordstrom, Saks, Fifth Avenue, all those stores. It's hard to find suits there. Why? Because the fashion has changed. It has changed. So they are catering to a younger audience. So now things are either the pants are skinny leg. I can't do skinny leg. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm already skinny enough, and I don't want to contort. I don't want y'all to see that I'm really skinny. Y'all already know I'm skinny, so I got these pants so I can hardly breathe because I just don't want my pants to hug me like these women who are wearing these blue jeans now, or these skin tights or whatever y'all call these things, leggings. I don't know what y'all call them. I don't want my suits fitting me like that. So I do like a nice skinny suit, but not too skinny. But I don't like it too baggy either, so I don't have any. You can't see any shape. So that's why my suits have to be tailored. All my suits must be tailored because of the size of my body and my preference. And so I need the suit to come in. I need the waist to come in. So when I stand up, you see that bulge there. You see that there's a struggle there. That's a nice tailored suit, right? When I was young and couldn't afford suits, I'd buy suits. They were just big like this. So I can stretch. I can go to sleep in them. I can use them as a blanket because they were so big. All right. It did not fit. It did not hug me tight enough where you can see that that's a good, decent GQ man. That is a lost trait, a lost art. Skinny jeans are biased. Sweet Chadwick. Blaze say, oh, they blasphemous. Yeah. Men's Warehouse, they don't hide. They don't care about me. Right. I know. So I can't do it. No. And it's not like I'm trying to pick up ladies. I'm not trying to pick up the ladies. But you still want to look decent, not just in front of the ladies. You want to look decent in front of the men as well. And I'm not gay either. But you want to look decent because when you dress it, Melody, it actually makes you feel empowered when you put on something nice and decent. And it doesn't outline your body parts, but yet it accentuates your body to where you look like a decent upscale gentleman. You get it? Mm-hmm. So this is why I keep telling, the brothers, the brothers be like, man, I like the way you dress, man. I said, well, you can do the same thing if you want to. You ain't got to spend $1,000 on a suit. You can do the same thing, go down to KNG. And they always having sales. And they got a tailor in the back. Now, you may not get your suit for a few days because of the tailor, but you can go there and dress really nice, not expensive. You understand? No, the suit's not going to last you as long as my suits that I spent a lot of more money for, but at least you can look decent without having to go broke. And you can look custom because, again, they have a tailor back there. Unfortunately, you're going to pay sometimes just as much for the tailor as you would for the suit. Ask me how I know. My last KNG visit, I bought a jacket for $100. I just needed a jacket. It was $100. Pair of pants. You're going to probably spend close to $100, maybe $75 for the pants. But after he got through tailoring the jacket, where I needed to be taken up here, sometimes you may need it taken up over here somewhere, or typically in the back and on the side. Well, the tailoring will cost you $40 just to tailor. $40-$50 sometimes just to even get it tailored. Well, that's half the cost of the jacket. And if you get tailored here and then a tailor here, that's $20-$30 per. You just bought another jacket. So they get you in the store for the low price, but you're gonna leave there paying double because you need tailoring, and they know that. So who taught me that? My father taught me how to not be compulsive. Is that what you call impulsive buying? Make the money, have the money. Don't go in there without you knowing what you want and come out what you went in there for. You're going to save some money because what they're going to do is they're going to flip some things. They're going to have a hard salesman in there who's going to tell you that you look nice in this, you look nice in that. Or you went in there for one thing, you coming out with another thing. Don't do it. That impulsive buying is something that they had a thing called bait and switch as well. They would advertise in the magazine this one thing, and then you all go there and they don't have it anymore. They have something else in place of it that's called bait and switch. And I learned that in my sociology class. No, it was called urban studies. I learned that in my urban studies class when I was in high school, bait and switch. They're still doing it today. So I don't play the bait switch. I don't play the whole, the hard sales and all that. No, when I walk in there, I know what I'm going to spend. I'm coming in here for that suit right there. Okay, we got no. I don't save that for the next sucker who come in here. Can you pull that off the rack? You look nice in that. No, I don't look nice in this. I don't like it anymore. You look. Now listen. I know what you need to do to make a living. I don't look nice in this jacket. I look nice to you because you think that I'm gullible, but I don't look nice in this jacket. Go give me another jacket, please. Oh, yes, sir. And once I tell them what I come in here for, no more sales pitches. They know this man know what he wants. Don't worry, I might even tip you, but I know what I come in here for. So this is why I don't walk into stores unless I buy something. I don't like going into stores and wasting the salesman's or saleswoman's time, knowing I'm not going to buy anything. And I don't go in there saying, how much is this? Because when you say how much this is, then they know you can't afford it, or you're gonna skimp it. You're gonna skimp it. You know, I don't care where I go. I don't care if it's even a restaurant. How much is this steak? If you're gonna have to ask, you can't afford it. All right. So brothers, you teach your children, your sons, have that already ready. So when you go to a place, you already know how much you're gonna spend. Don't ask how much it is, which means you didn't do your research. So when you walk downtown, I don't care if it's Saks Fifth Magnificent Mile in Chicago. If I walk into a store, I'm coming out with something. Unless I got a woman on my side who likes window shopping, then I have to try to convince her, can we not go in there? You go in there, I'm going to stay outside. And sometimes I have to go in there, depends on, the era. Depends on the era and the woman. All right, because I've dated a woman in every era, 80s, 90s, 2000s. It depends. You understand? So, baby, can we go in that store? You gonna buy something? No, I want to see these. Oh, no, you can go in there. I'm gonna sit out here. I'm gonna sit on the bench. There's a bench right here. I'm not wasting his time. I'm not gonna do it. You're gonna get all excited. Ooh, I like it. Ooh, I like it. Ooh, I like this. You're there for a half hour. Ooh. And then you're like, all right, thank you. You wasted this time. You wasted this time. When I walk into a store, I'm coming out with something. I'm coming out. I want the world to know. You understand? May I help you, sir? Yes, I'm coming here to buy. And then he gonna say, thank you for not wasting my time. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna waste your time. I'm coming here to buy. I don't care if it's socks. Give me something. That's me though, right? But I'll do some window shopping. I'll stay outside the store and I'll look at the window. I ain't going in there until I know. All right. So I want to do this show to the brothers so that you all can spend some more time with your sons. Fathers, take your sons shopping like I did mine. He came home at the age of 14 and stayed with me until he turned 18. And he saw how I pressed and hung my suits and how I got them tailored and how I walked in my suits and how I talked and how I made sure even if I didn't have time to wash my shirt in the wash machine because there's not enough. You do not waste water, my father taught me. You got one shirt and then you put your one shirt in the wash machine and put the detergent in there and he said, son, you're wasting water. You're wasting energy. If you're going to wash clothes, you find your brother's dirty clothes, find their dirty drawers, you put it in there with your shirt and you wash a whole load, never wash one shirt or one pants, what have you. Who taught me that? My father. My mother didn't know I was doing it, but my father, he paid close attention to that. Don't do it. And if you don't have time or if you don't have enough dirty clothes, then you take your shirt over that sink. You get you some detergent and you scrub it. And we had a washboard back then. You took that washboard and you beat the hell out of that shirt. You beat the hell out of it. I know it's the night before school, but you get the, all right? And you keep doing that until you don't see no dirt. You keep doing it until you don't see no dirt. So you had to learn how to wash your shirt in the sink. You wash it and you just kept beating the whole shirt, all right? And then you rinsed it in cool water, all right? You rinse it in cool water. You put it on a hanger, not a wire hanger. You put it on a cushioned hanger or you put it on a clothespin. And we would hang it. If it was wintertime, obviously you can't take it outside. you hung it as close to the stove as possible. And we had a pot belly stove. My father, Mississippi. He just that Jackson, Mississippi. We had a pot belly stove on the west side of Chicago in the 80s. Okay. And you put it over that potbelly stove, and by school time in the morning, that shirt was not only dry and clean, it was hard. It was like it was pressed because that heat hit it so hard. It was hard. All right, and then you got up early enough and you iron that sucker. Ironing was a chore, was an art that I had to teach my son as well. You don't just no, you set it up on that ironing board and you lay it out and you make sure you get all the creases out with your hands first, okay? And you make sure you iron everything from here on down. But as it pertains to the collar, there is an art to ironing your collar. And you may have to go over it several times, one at a time. You work your way over this way. You work your way. You work your way. You work your way. There are creases in your shirt that goes this way. Sometimes it goes this way, depending on the make or how the shirt was produced. And you've got to make sure those creases stay in there. You don't iron over the crease. That's why they have ironing boards that does this. And you put that crease over this part here, and you hang it on the side, and you iron it that way. Y'all get it now? And Chadwick said, I'm taking notes. I'm taking notes. All right? My father taught me that. No hoochie daddy shorts either. Come on, spray starch. There you go. Spray starch. And if you didn't have it, you use water. And when you ran out of spray starch, you sprayed the water in there before they came out with the new irons that have water in them. We just had the iron, the cast iron. And with the detachable cords. The detachable cords were used for two reasons. They were used to plug in the iron, and number two, they were used to whoop your behind when you was bad. My father whooped me with an ironing cord. They detached. I hated that thing. I'm so glad they came out with one that didn't detach because he used to hit on my behind. All right? Y'all got it? So you going to be clean from head to toe, and people did not know that we were poor. They didn't know that we were on public aid. They didn't know some days that we were struggling and the lights was the shut-off notice. They didn't know that. My father and all of his 7 boys walked outside, got into the car to church in a nice Oldsmobile, and we had nice clothes. We had shiny shoes. It doesn't matter if my mother made them all from the Singer's sewing machine. That didn't matter. We was clean. We was pressed, and you saw our creases. You understand? And my father cut our hair. He didn't send us to the barber. I didn't see a barber until I might have been 15, 16. I might have been 16 when I first saw a barber shop, meaning been inside a barber shop. I was about 16 years old. My father was our barber. All right? And he gave you whatever he wanted to give you. You didn't have it wasn't, all right, son, what do you want? No. No, he gave you what he wanted you to have. And most of that was no hair. All right. Okay. People are helping me out. They've helped me out. Walnut Room. Yeah. Joseph A. Banks. Still, yes, I agree with that. Traditional look. I went to Joseph A. Banks and I bought my winter coat. It is like a it's a British coat. It's a double-breasted, the black. All right. I got it from Joseph A. Bank, and you are absolutely right. Someone has asked me about hygiene as well, and get your nose clipped and hair clipped. And that's good. That's good. Let me tell you about hygiene. All right. I need to eat. It's 4:00. I'm gonna let Becca gonna make dinner. So I haven't even had lunch yet. But Becca gonna make dinner. I'm gonna take a nap after I eat and then eat again. I'm gonna eat again. Lastly, hygiene is so vital. My father taught me the right cologne to wear and the right deodorant to wear, and the purpose of the hairs, the hairs under your arms. Brother, some of y'all's hairs is coarse, some of it is nappy, some of it is straight. And you got to know about your body odor. You have to know. You won't smell it because sometimes you're going through puberty, and you get up in age when you still have an odor. You don't know you have an odor, but somebody else can smell it. So you have to always make sure that you're clean. And so there are certain types of deodorants that I could not use because it made me itch. One, I can't use aerosols. I couldn't. I stopped using aerosols since the age of about 14 because they begin to make me itch. So somebody would buy me Sure or y'all name a arid extra dry. Can y'all name one of them what you call them, deodorant, spray deodorants from back in the day? All right, women had their little stuff. So I couldn't. Is it Right Guard? I couldn't do Right Guard anymore. I would itch. I was allergic to that, so I tried the deodorant, the roll-ons, and I would do the roll-ons, and then I realized that the roll-ons was making me itch too. Couldn't do it anymore. Then they came out with the stick. I tried the stick, and it stuck. It stuck. And I've been with Degree for half my life. I can't wear nothing but Degree. I'm sure I can wear it, but it just won't smell right. Degree makes me feel like a man. I feel like a man. And I don't care what kind of Degree. They got all these funny names, Smooth and Sport and all this. Please. They all work. But you sometimes, brothers, you got to cut the hairs completely off. You got to cut your underarms bald, because if you're perspiring, one thing, another way to mess up your shirts is that some of you sweat so much you perspire, and so you take your shirts. That was a problem we had as a young man. I had that problem that I sweated. I was going through puberty, and I gave off an odor. I remember giving off this skunk odor when I was a boy, and I smelt it. And I was ashamed to go to school because I had that smell. It didn't matter if you took a bath. It was going through my pores. And I remember sitting in the band playing next to this Hispanic girl. She was a pretty girl with long hair. I remember playing and I smelt it. And that smell, it went over there to her. What is that cartoon? The one who plays... He plays the piano, but all this. Wait, is that him or is the one who has the blanket? Which one is the one that he just dirty? Charlie Brown's Friends, he's just dirty, the dirty. Every time that was me, and I remember playing my horn, and she played saxophone too, and I remember that smell going over there. She said, "I smell, it smell. You smell like a skunk." Oh, my heart. My heart. Is it Pigpen? Your Pigpen. Which one is it? Is it? I don't think it's Linus. It's Pigpen. Yeah, that's why his name is Pigpen, right? It's Pigpen. Linus was the one that played the piano. He didn't stink. I think it was Pigpen. And I felt horrible, but there was nothing I could do about it because I was giving off an odor. Thank God I grew out of puberty. But what I was realizing is that my shirts were so stained under the arms that you took them if you washed them, they just had that stain there. So my mother had to pay close attention to my shirts. She had to throw them out and keep buying shirts until I came out of that puberty. Schroeder was on the piano. Thank you, Kevin. Schroeder was on piano. I should know that. Linus carried the blanket. Schroeder played the piano, and Pigpen had, and Lucy, is that Lucy? The one who just wouldn't let the boy kick the ball. Okay. All right. So as it pertains to my hormones changing, I gave off a smell. Thank God the smell went away. And then I had to learn to keep myself, deodorized. Also, we had to learn how to brush it, not just brush your teeth, but brush your tongue. I had to learn that the hard way. And lastly, but certainly not least, you don't wear your underwear until your whites turns to off-white until they turn to blackwear. Blackwear. I didn't learn this until later on. My uncle, thank God I had another father figure in my life. We wore our tighty whities to bed. We didn't really wear pajamas. We wore tighty whities to bed. And would wake up, all right, take them tighty whities off, take a bath, what have you, and put them same tighty whities back on. I know Charlene said, you're telling all your business. I can tell it now because I don't do that crap no more. Thank God I grew out of that mess. But I'm helping some boy right now. I'm helping some boy who don't have a father. Put the tighty whitey back on. It was white when my mother bought them. Oh, but they were gray. Joyce Samples here, she said, nah, they became gray after the end of the week. We ain't know no better. We didn't know no better. Until my father finally called us and said, wait a minute, is this what y'all doing? Is this what y'all doing? What is this? I ain't know. I didn't know. They were tighty dirty. Stank. Joyce. I'm trying to tell y'all better share this with your sons because they doing it right now. Y'all just don't know it. See, they don't wear tighty whities now. These young people are wearing the designer drawers with all the cute colors on them. They putting them drawers back on. They putting them back on. All right. So I had to learn that from my uncle. We traveled. I'm not gonna tell you which uncle it is. All right. Well, he dead now, so it doesn't matter. I remember traveling with my uncle. He had to go speak somewhere. He was a pastor, and he got in the car with us, and we drove for about 2-3 hours to this church. They ushered us in, and my uncle said, "Where's the restroom?" And so he said, "Come on, boys, let's go to the restroom." And they went to the restroom, and he pulled off his bottoms. And he scrubbed. And I was like, "Uncle, what you doing?" He says, "Why aren't you doing that?" I didn't. He said, How long have you had those on?" "Oh, I put them on. I put them on this morning." "You did? You sure, nephew?" "Yeah, I was lying. I had them. That was the second day I had them draws." He said, "You sure, nephew?" I said, "Yeah, I'm sure." He said, "Now, since you woke up this morning, you've been to Sunday school, you went to morning worship. Now it's the afternoon. And we drove 3 hours to get to this church. Them draws are nasty, right?" I said, "They are?" He said, "They're nasty, right? So here, son, I got an extra towel. Here's some soap. Get the scrubbing." Get the scrubbing. You're dirty. You're nasty. I'm like, "Unc, but I got to put these back on because I didn't bring none." He said, "Here, nephew." nephew. I always bring the extra draw. Come on, Sheila, and skid marks. I'm trying to tell y'all, I learned hygiene the hard way. A young teenager, I didn't know this stuff. That day, let me tell y'all, that day taught me a valuable lesson. That day really grew me up, because my father showed me all these magnificent things on how to be clean and hygiene and smell nice. And you never want to have a lady, and y'all in the car, and she talking to you like that. You always want to be presentable. Rogers is putting up the clock. So I learned a valuable lesson that day. Clean your behind. Thank you, V. Rogers. This is the mother of my two children. Now, we didn't have the children together. All right. We made sure we were absent during that period. All right. But she did give me 2 children. Yeah, she gave me 2 amazing children. I love them dearly, and they love me. They call me Papa Sir. Just makes me feel like I belong. Her son, Eric, is graduated from Morehouse College. Oh my God, I don't know. Last year. He's now in a master's program, and he's going to continue to go. He said he's going to get his doctorate, and so my God, I'm following in his footsteps, because now that I'm at Moody Bible Institute in my theology undergrad, I'm following after my son. See, because let me tell y'all, sons can inspire the fathers. I'm in business with my son, Walter Jr. now. We have Jones Luxury Transportation Services in Atlanta. It's a limousine service, a transportation service. We do have a limousine. We have 2 cars. We're buying a 3rd car soon. And I look at my son, man, I tell you, he, like my son Eric and my wonderful daughter Elise, who has given me another grandbaby and another one coming. Those moments that I've had with her, even here at the house, Elise would come over to the house, and we would sit in this office here and talk and laugh and cry. And she would tell me many of her deepest thoughts and passions. And I would take her for walks, and we would go out to eat. Those moments with children is amazing, and they don't have to be yours. Fathers, you can adopt. Take on somebody else's child, because the mothers have done all they could do. V struggled, and she had to do all she can to raise those 2 when it was just her. And every dime, every tear, every stress came from her orifice, came from her pocket, came from her bank account, came from her heart, came from her mind. Just she poured out. And now look at those children. And so while it was teenagers, I said, "My turn. Could I get some? Could I get some of that?" And she said, "Here, you do the rest. You do the rest." And I tell you, it's awesome to be able to get that phone call from one of them and say, "Papa, I love you." Oh my God. Oh my God. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. So I just adopted another couple a couple days ago. And I'm excited. I love to adopt young people. And they don't live here in Illinois. They live somewhere in New York area, somewhere. Anyway, I'm excited to really get to know them and start all over again. You're never too old, brothers, to adopt. They don't have to be in your home, but find a way to get to them. Get in your car or get an airplane ticket, go fly and go see them. Just pop in. Papa's here. Let's go out to eat. Let's go to the park. Let's go to Disney World. Let's do something. They will remember that. All right, y'all. Well, I think I've done enough talking. I have spoiled you all's dinner. Me and my uncle spoiled you all's dinner. And I want you all to share this. Amen, Joyce. Everyone needs a father's love. All right. I know y'all like to talk about deadbeat fathers. I don't like calling them deadbeats. That because the man is not in the child's life anymore doesn't mean that the guy's deadbeat. Some of those men are struggling mentally with something, and we have to pray for them and try to get them help. If they would accept the help, try to get them some help. Others are afraid; they don't know how to come back. So we can't put all men in that bucket, because tonight, when this day is over, tomorrow, Monday, Father's Day will be forgotten. No more Happy Father's Day. No more Dad, you're the greatest. No more. He's going to have to now re-enter the world and start all over again with driving while black, being called a nigger, called by his first name, maybe by his own child, not being accepted in a certain neighborhood. Karen is telling him he can't bird watch, or she gonna call the police. He walk into an Asian store and they're gonna watch his every step. He's gonna go back into that life after today. So we really need to treat him like it's Father's Day every day as much as you can. Right now, you fathers out there who's not playing your part, you can't be blaming the society by what you're doing. You now have to pull yourself up by your own bootstraps and go out there. And if you take on some children, trust me, you will feel empowered when you are feeling like you're producing a child. When you're pouring into a child, you feel better. You feel like you are playing your part in society. So every time my I don't even call them godchildren. I don't call Elites and Eric and Darius, and I have a few of them. I don't call them godchildren. They're my babies. They'll always be mine. I might even put them in the wheel. Somewhere at the bottom somewhere, I'm going to put them in the wheel. There's a wheel in the middle of the wheel. My oldest brother mentored a young black man for many years. Beverly, you have a great brother. God bless him. Reality will hit him in the face, so we must make the love and appreciation and yes, a daily event. Yep, it gives you so much joy, Charlene, when you do that. Brothers, I'm talking to brothers. I know ladies, we can do another show, but I'm talking to you brothers. It will give you so much joy. And here's what's going to happen. My son Eric is going to do the same thing, and he's doing it. I saw him mentoring on his college at Morehouse. I saw him mentoring. I went to the graduation, and folks was like, Eric. All right? And these are young men who are looking up to him, even though they might have been around the same age. He's mentoring. He's doing it automatically because he's seeing the impact of mentorship. And so as he goes into his master program and go up and further on to his career, he will have a lifestyle of mentoring others. He does it at his church, whatever church he's at, because he's back and forth from Atlanta to Chicago. At least it's the same way, especially now that she's a mother. All right. So trust me, Emory. He's at Emory now. All right. So trust me, y'all. Each one will reach one. I am because we are. So when you pour into a child's life, the child remembers that, and then he automatically pours into someone else's life and not even realize that he's doing it automatically. Now that is where rote comes in, R-O-T-E, rote. That's where I will accept rote learning. All right. You're doing something mechanically, repetitiously, routinely. It is affixed in him. It is habitual to pour into someone. So you become this teacher. You become this trainer. All right. And you do it repetitively. And then it becomes a part of your psyche, your life, your characteristics. All right. And then this child is seeing this. And then he automatically pours into someone and not even know that he's doing it. That's how the rich stay rich. A boy was raised into a family. He was born with a silver spoon, And he goes out there, he smokes, he drinks, he lives riotously, but he stays wealthy. And it's like, why is it that he's doing all this crazy stuff, but yet he's wealthy? Is because he came up under an environment of wealth. And it was in him. And all he saw was wealth and how to obtain it. So when he goes out there and he's riot, and he's just all over the place and wasteful, what have you, he stays wealthy because the spirit of wealth is in him. Now, I did that study, so I'm telling you what I know. I talk to wealthy people and their children, and it's like, I see it on the boy's face. It's in his speech. Wealth is in his speech. Well, the poor is the same way. They're people who have a spirit of poverty on them. No matter where they go, they get a nice job, they get a nice house, and then they lose the job and lose the house. And they get a car, a nice car, and then it falls apart. The wheels are falling off, the paint is cracking and peeling, all this stuff, and they live in a state of poverty because that's all they know. It's a mentality. I gotta go, y'all, because the clock keeper is rebuking, and she gonna start cussing if I don't shut this down. I pay her to do this. I pay her to do this, and one day, the check will cover some kind of expense. One day, I pay her. Now, does it transfer over to monies? That's another show. But I pay her. I pay her much respect for doing this. One day, it's going to be enough to pay a phone bill. I love you all. I thank you. And thank you all for wishing me a happy Father's Day. It's always a wonderful Father's Day when first of all, you're alive. Number two, your children love you. All right? I'm going to go upstairs and love on my babies. And put something in my belly, go to sleep, and wake up again and let her feed me again. All right? Wait till you see your oh, man. Oh, man. All right, let me go. I got to go see what this is all about. My grandson lost his dad at 2 years old. He is now 7. The things his dad was teaching him, I carry on. His dad made a point of ironing his clothes and making sure he was always dressed properly. He was a great dad. Amen. The grandmother loved her grand. Thank you, Jackie Berry. If I had quit early, I would have missed that. Thank you for that. That's beautiful. Amen. Thank you, Beatrice. I appreciate you. All right, Charlene, watch the replay. Okay? It's good when the young men have that special person in their life, yes, that they can share it with others. Amen. All right, y'all. Take care of yourselves and one another. I'm done for the whole day. I will not be live tonight at 9 o'clock. I'm gonna have such a big belly, I'm going to need the rest. Rebecca about to fill me up, fill me up. Take care. God, I love you. I thank you for all of what you've done. The people who are here, the fathers who are watching, inspire them, pour into them. The sons who are watching, inspire them, pour into them. I pray that I gave some type of good wisdom, godly advice, how to structure their lives, things that they may not be thinking of. It's only a little bit. It would take me a lifetime to continue. So God, I'll take a lifetime to do it, so that one day I will be in paradise. See what I did there? So thank you, God. For these people who did come on a Father's Day afternoon, they could be somewhere with their dads and their sons and brothers, but they're here watching the show. I pray for those people, give them strength, and those who are going to watch the replay. God, we love you. You an awesome God. Keep us sane. I pray for my mind, that my mind stay sharp and keen, so that I can continue to raise up even more boys, boys to men. Thank you, Father, for what you've done and what you're going to do in my life. And there's two. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen and amen. All right, y'all. Take care of yourselves and one another. I holla.
4 Women That Men Desire by Sirwalterj is a women's guide to men. The authors endeavor to expose men fundamentally with his perspective on the types of women that men truly desire. He has meticulously penned a brilliant and controversial read, bold in its assertion that all women fall into one of 4 categories. Girl A, the side chick. Girl B, the mistress. Girl C, his soulmate. Or Girl D, his fatal attraction. And when a woman walks into a room, her category is showing. The 4 Women That Men Desire is funny, informative, and enlightening. It is a quick read and a must-have for your library. Head over to Amazon.com for your copy.
Okay, so I'm in the men's section. All right. These are swimming trunks. I'm in the men's section. Did I tell you that I was in the men's section? What is going on? I'm in the men's... What? I'm in the men's section. I can prove it to you. What'd that say? Men's. I'm in the men's section. What is this?
Lawyer, what are you doing? Why are you putting that on your head?